I'd love to start with this waterbed scene, which is really the thing that when you talk to anybody and when you read all the reviews and you kind of look around online, there's something about this waterbed scene that is just chilling people to the core. And first of all, I'd love to know what you thought of this scene on paper. And did you imagine that it was going to kind of become one of those scenes that is synonymous with certainly this film and just horror in general?
I mean, I don't think you're ever thinking that while you're shooting it. I think you're just trying to like make it happen and make it work.
Yeah.
Cause you know, it's very tricky. That sequence of, you know, how do you get a guy in a waterbed? Okay. Obviously you can't. So again, how do you shoot that? How do you shoot the hand coming up and grabbing the kid? How do you shoot the silhouette of his hand mirroring the entity underneath him? So a lot of these things we had to be figured out in pre-production, obviously. And I thought Shavs did a great job of coming up with some ideas of how to do this and how he wanted to shoot it. And it is one of those things where actually when it was all done, we were watching it and I was like, man, that is terrifying. And I think it's terrifying because it's the child. You know, you have a child. And to me, that just heightens it tremendously. Like I think it would be scary if it was an adult, but the fact that it's a child, I think, takes it to a whole new level. And I thought we did a great job of crafting it as far as like easing into each different level of how much we see him. And then all of a sudden, boom, the hand comes up out of the water, spraying everywhere. And I think the effects team, visual effects team, special effects team did a great job of making that all kind of come to life. But it was fun they cut a hole in the bed. There's, the effects team built a little hole to where the guy can stick his hand up through it and built this water gauge so the water would spurt out. You know, I thought it was just very clever that the way everyone made that all happen. And again, that was something that we had many meetings in pre-production of how to do it.
And of course, working with Julian Hilliard, the child actor there, like, I mean, he just delivers that scene. So he's such a great actor anyway. What was it like working with him?
He is a fantastic spirit and very nice kid. I think there's just something, he's very like sweet and gentle, which makes you feel for him even more, like that this is happening to him. And then Shavs put him in those glasses and you're like, oh God, that just breaks your heart. So it's he's great. He was wonderful to work with and very spirited and fun and loved every minute of what he was doing.
He can also be incredibly evil too. Wow. He delivered
Yes.
in that opening exorcism scene. And I want to talk about that scene as well, but just one more thing about the waterbed, because I think when I was watching it, like what I think makes it feel so, I don't know, what I think makes it feel so scary is there's something about a waterbed in its lack of stability that makes you incredibly vulnerable. I mean, showers are a vulnerable moment. Sleeping is a vulnerable moment. But there's something about the lack of structure of a waterbed and the inconsistency of the movement and not being able to get out of it quickly because you're kind of like sucked into it. There's something about vulnerability in that scene that I think lends to how scary it is.
100%. I think that's spot on. And again, just to carry on what you were just talking about is the other great thing is how Shavs brought it from like a fun, playful moment of the kid jumping on the waterbed and, you know, he's just kind of gliding through it. And it's just something so easy. And then all of a sudden a complete 180 happens. I think that's also what's pretty interesting.